Hey, greeting guys, welcome back to another episode on your Dr. DIY's channel. So today video we are going to demonstrate a cheap and effective way on how you can make your wall smooth without skimming. Skimming means you are not applying any sort of filler, any sort of paste to fill up the unevenness of the wall surface. As you can see, the wall surface is uneven, right? So this surface has been scraped to remove all the paint, and during the scraping process, part of the filler came out. It was not so obvious by the naked eyes until the paint was applied and the finishing process was done, and the unevenness of the wall tend to show its defects after the paint job has been done. So what we are going to do now is we are not going to apply any sort of filler, right? Because if you want to apply any sort of filler or you want to do skimming process, the work is going to be very lengthy. First, you need to make sure the wall is rough. Then you can apply the filler so that it will adhere well to the wall. Second, after applying the filler, when the filler is already dry, you have to sandpaper the filler to make sure it is smooth and flat. And you have to do some sort of retouch up, apply the filler again, because there definitely will be some defects. On that, clean it, and you got to paint it, undercoat one layer and two layers of the actual paint, which the whole process is going to be very lengthy. And not forgetting that when you apply a filler, it will not last you lifetime, right? There will be time where the filler will fail to bond well with the wall and it will tend to crack. You will have surface crack, the filler will all drop down. So we tend to avoid all this, but now we are going to show you an effective and a cheap method on how you can make your walls. So guys, stay tuned and watch the show. So guys, we are going to repair this wall now by making it smooth. So the objective is we are going to lay a polyurethane board of 3 mm thickness on this wall, right, which will act as a dummy surface and relatively smooth dummy surface. Okay, so the problem with this wall is very bad in its outer surface, and you can see all the scratches and all the unevenness due to the removal of the painting process, which was published in a previous video. So as I go along, you can see the wall, the unevenness. You can see the light. That is the unevenness of the wall. Okay, so we are going to show you now how we are going to repair this in a cheap and effective manner. Okay, so first thing first is we are going to measure the wall such that what is the height from there till down, and also the length from right till left. Okay, right till left. So in our case now, we have already done the measurement and we are going to cut the polyurethane board according to its dimension. Okay, so this is the polyurethane board which we were talking about. Okay, it is 4 mm in thickness. Okay, it comes in a standard size of 8 feet by 4 feet, and the price for one board is about 80 ringgit Malaysia. Okay, so we have already obtained the dimension. We have noticed that there is a curve, or there is indentation cut, or half a circle between the boards, or at the side of the boards of left and right, because we are making a few panels such that the boards sits between the nuts and the bolts fitting between this region and this region. So there will be one board here, another board here, another board here, and another board here, right? So the connection between the boards will be just below at the center of this grill, okay, which will not be that noticeable because later you can fill it up with a gap filler and we are going to paint it. Okay, so now we have prepared the boards. We are going to glue the boards to the cement. So how are we going to glue it to this wall? We are going to apply a silicone gum along the perimeter of this wall and also in a zigzag manner. Let's do it now. Okay, so we have installed the panel boards, as you can see. Okay, so these panel boards have been cut according to its size and have been installed. So some things to be noted. The panel boards are to be installed in a way that they are overlapping each other, right? For example, it is actually overlapping. The panel boards are actually overlapping by 5 mm or so. Why? Because we are going to cut on the board when the board is pre-attached to the wall without any adhesive glue. The main reason so that the fit and finish will be much more effective or much more better, lower tolerance. Okay, so that is something to note on. And obviously at the bottom there is an excess of the board. Okay, highly recommended to have an excess of this board coming at the bottom of the wall here, because later when we have already glued the board, when the glue is already been hardened, so we just take a pen knife and we cut or we trim the board according to the base of the beam or the wall, and then we may fill up with the filler if there is any holes and so forth. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to slowly start with that board, remove that board, put the adhesive glue, and then stick it back. Okay, so before putting the board, we put the adhesive glue in such a manner. Okay, before sticking the PU board on the wall. So we have secured the board now with adhesive paper tape. So we leave it for 1 day or so for the glue to dry properly. So this is the progress. Okay, so this is the final look of the wall upon painting it and also upon going through the finishing process. So you can see the polyfoam boards has been properly placed by means of adhesive silicone glue, right? And they have been carefully cut according to the grill so that it will not be that obvious on the placement. Okay, you can see there is a line, but you may eliminate such line by actually putting a sticker or maybe putting a filler. These boards has been painted now using the paint which is similar to the wall, and you can see now it's relatively smooth as compared to before. There are no any scratch marks, no any rough surface. Okay, the gap between the board and also the column have been filled carefully by means of an acrylic paintable wall sealer. Okay, the gap, so they are all being cut. Okay, the gaps are being closed. So this is the final view of the column, which is finished by cheap poly foam boards. So I hope we give you some information on how you can possibly have an alternative method in skimming your wall. So rather than skimming your wall, you may use poly foam boards, which are relatively cheap. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. So till we meet again now, checking out from Dr. DIY's channel. Stay blessed and have a nice day.